Hi, my name is Andrea Tsurumi, and I'm an author, an illustrator, and a cartoonist. And I made Crab Cake, which I'm really happy that you guys are reading. So the story behind Crab Cake, why did I make Crab Cake? There are two answers to that. The first answer is, and I will show you a quick picture of this, is that I was drawing a lot of pictures of a crab chef or a crab baker in my sketchbook. And I didn't really know, I was drawing for fun. I had no idea where this would go, but I just thought, hey, this might be a really fun idea. And I also, at the same time, had this other idea in my head that I really wanted to make a book about disaster. Just because it was something that was on my mind, and it was something that has mattered a lot to me and still matters a lot to me, about how people respond to disaster, to problems that are bigger than ordinary accidents, to problems that are not caused by yourself, that are caused by other factors or other people, and what happens when that happens, basically. What do people do? So I combined those ideas. So it's about a crab who bakes cakes because I wanted to draw a crab who bakes cakes, okay? And it's about disasters because it's something that I care about. And I think some of the best ideas for books, at least in my experience, are ideas that mattered a lot to me when I was a kid too. So when I was a kid, a lot of problems that existed in the world, and a lot of disasters that happened in the world felt like they were too big for me to do anything about. They were so big and I was so small and I had no idea how to even think about them, right? And I felt very alone when I thought about them. And as an adult, I have learned a lot more about disasters. I have learned a lot about natural disasters and other kinds of things that happen. Some of them are caused by nature, some of them are caused by people. Some of them we are experiencing right now. And what I have learned is that in the face of disaster, it is a very, very common and very, very human thing to do to come together, to sustain each other, to support each other, and to try to help each other. And this is something that communities do without thinking, in like the seconds or the days after something big happens. Communities will come together to save themselves. So this is what I wanted to make the book about. This is something that I wanted to explore through Crab Cake. One of my favorite things about the book that I really hope you spend some time thinking about is just how there's no one hero of the book, right? Crab doesn't make the trash go away. Everyone does something. They do different things, especially Clam, who's my favorite. Everyone does something different, and they don't necessarily have a plan when they come together, but they have to come together, they have to support themselves, and then they have to figure out what they're gonna do to get justice and change, right? So another thing that's kind of like a thought question and I would love to throw out there is, well, I guess it's a leading thought question, is do these creatures need or wait for permission to save themselves? Are they saved by anyone else who comes and helps them? What does every creature do? And what could they do if they had not come together? And what do they do because they came together? And these are things that are not just happening in the book. These are things that have happened in history. They're happening right now, probably in a lot of your communities. These are things that have happened in my own experience, growing up in New York with the many, many disasters that have hit that city. This is something that has happened throughout time. In the 1900s, San Francisco earthquake. This is something that has happened, the many tsunamis that have hit Indonesia and Japan. This is something that happens on a big scale, and this is something that happens on a small scale. When in the face of overwhelming disaster, I guess, I wanted to make the point that you could respond with ordinary kindness, that you can respond by doing what you normally do, that you can respond by reaching out to each other and helping each other and trying to make things right. And this is not just something that crab does and the fish do. This is something that people do all over the world, that they have done in the past and they will do in the future. And this is something that children do all the time. Every time you help a friend, every time you just say like, this is not right, and I'm pretty sure this is not right, and I'm gonna learn about this, that is always worthwhile. That is always worthwhile. So this is This is a big answer to a small question, but this is the beating heart of why I made crab cake.